What is going on, guys? Hey, I wanted to come back to it. I wanted to bring you a video from the Daily Wire with Matt Walsh. And Matt is going through a couple of TikTok videos. And in these videos, there are women talking about how they can't find a man to be in a relationship with. And kind of, where are the men? Well, yeah. And for the most part, I agree with Matt on pretty much everything. We have very similar values. We do. But there are a few things here that I disagree with. But if you guys would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
Quick question. Are you kidding me? Like, I am so sick and tired of just everything right now. Everyone is so quick to say, stop doing this, stop thinking like this, stop telling me I'm wrong. I have literally convinced myself at this point, based on everything that everyone's telling me, my therapist, my family, my friends, that I'm just doing everything wrong. Like, I genuinely just want love in my life so badly. It's literally not about anyone else. It's just about me and what I want. And being over the fact that I don't have it. I feel like I have done so much work on myself. I have built a beautiful life for myself. I'm happy with my life where I'm at, my job. I'm successful. I'm independent. I'm healthier than I've ever been. I take such good care of myself. Truly, the only thing I'm missing in my life is someone to enjoy it with. And I'm so sick of waiting. Like, when is it going to be my turn? What more do I have to do to fix myself before I'm just allowed to be happy? Am I just supposed to be alone? Like, is that the message? That this beautiful life I've built for myself, like, it's just supposed to be me in it alone? Like, I know I have my dog and I love him so much, but like, I need love.
Now, even though I may be infamously a Grinch whose heart is 3 times too small, even I will say that I truly feel bad for this young lady and the loneliness she's experiencing. You'd have to be a sociopath to not feel bad for her. And despite popular misconceptions, I am not actually a sociopath.
You know, guys, I don't feel bad for her. I really don't. And I don't think anyone should. I mean, she is clearly missing something from her life. And that's a good thing, not a bad thing. She's realizing, something is wrong. I think every single one of us, not to be too religious or spiritual or whatever, but I believe that what every single one of us is looking for is a connection to God, to the Father. And when you put that first, everything else kind of falls into place. And I'm just finding that out in my own life at the age I am now. But when you're younger, and especially nowadays with everything being online, I mean, you could buy a car, you can buy a house, you can buy car insurance, you can go to class, you can date. Everything is online. And the pool of potential candidates is so big that I believe in a lot of ways that overwhelms people. And it causes a certain sense of paralysis. Because again, there's so many candidates, so many people that you could possibly be with, that it causes people to get stuck. And I think more than ever, we got to kind of find out who we are. And I think the only way to do that is to return to God, and everything else falls into place. And, kind of seek the right way is kind of what I'm saying. Go the right way, go on the right path. and everything else will fall into place. Somebody will be introduced to you, but the fact of the matter is, nowadays, there's way too many options. There is. And men and women are being told to have the opposite values and roles and everything else that we used to have, even back when I was younger. And, but this girl that we just showed, hasn't built a good life. I know she says, yeah, but she has not. If she did, she would be happier right now. But I'm going to show you guys kind of where I disagree with Matt a little bit here. Watch this.
As this woman discovers that it is hard to be happy. It's impossible, really, if you do not have someone to share your happiness with. She says that she's worked on herself. She's done everything she can to make herself desirable. Part of the problem, of course, is that some of the things she highlights will have no effect either way on making her more desirable to men. For instance, no man cares whether a woman is successful or independent. Like, there has never been a man in the history of the world who has left a first date and said, wow, she's great. She's so successful and independent.
There right there is where Matt Walsh and I disagree. Again, man, we have to understand we can't look outside of ourselves for something to make us happy. We can't. If we can, but it's only going to bring us hell ultimately. Again, there has to be a certain element of surrender in our own lives. And again, I'm not trying to be preachy or too religious or whatever, but we have to understand that the fix is not out there. It's in here. It's in you. Again, if you can have a certain amount of peace in your own life, and again, you can't bring that peace upon yourself. There's a certain element of surrender that needs to happen. And when you're given that peace, more will be added upon you. If you can be content and at peace with the life you have, more will be given to you. And again, I've seen that in my own life at the age I am now. And it's something I'm truly starting to learn at this point. But we're never going to be at peace if we're looking for something outside of ourselves. Another person, some kind of a bigger house, a nicer car, whatever. If we're looking outside of ourselves for something to bring us happiness, bring us peace, contentment, again, you might get that, but ultimately, it's going to be nothing but absolute hell. Talk to people that have been married 20 plus years, and really talk to them. You'll find out if people are being honest, and they're in hell. They are in hell. Majority of marriages, I believe, people, again, they hate going home. They hate being at home. And, I'm not saying it's the way it should be. It's not. It's not the way it should be. But it's because they're seeking something outside of themselves. They're putting the cart in front of the horse. And it's never going to work. It's never going to work that way. They're only going to find hell when you do so. You're going to find somebody that's going to take advantage of you, that's going to use you, and you're looking, if you're honest, to use them, to have them make you feel better about yourself. And I think, again, that's what the problem is. But to go along with Matt's next point, he said that men, they're not looking for success. I agree with that. I do agree. Men don't look for, how much money a woman makes or how far along in her career she is. Not normally. I mean, again, sometimes, but not normally. I think men, they look for somebody that's feminine, soft, agreeable. They when they come home, they don't want to leave the hell at the office or wherever they are to come home to nothing but hell. They don't want that. They want peace. And again, they want somebody to help make their lives better, not make it worse. And if you've done the work on yourself, truly, you would understand that, you would see that. But so many people, they haven't. And then that's why when they get married, they have a couple of years of or less of relative calm. And then they have hell.
But first, let's watch a snippet of the next video with the same theme. And this is a woman named Anya, who is also lonely and looking for love. And this video also very viral. Lots of people sharing it and talking about it. But she's been unsuccessful so far at her pursuits. And here is her.
I'm not someone that posts or cries or anything on the internet, so this is a new one for me. I guess I need girls to rally with me and lift me up because I feel so defeated right now. I've been trying to meet someone, just anybody worth my time for years. And dating apps are so awful. I don't need to explain to you how awful the dating apps are. So I've been trying to meet people in public, and they're still trash when I do randomly meet people in public. But tonight takes the cake. I just can't help but feel like I'm gonna turn into this because I'm never gonna meet someone. And for everybody who's gonna tell me, it'll come along when you least expect it. I've been hearing that for 7 years, okay? I'm so sick of hearing that. There's such a thing as people that just don't find their person and don't get married. So, I'm a realist. And the realist in me is starting to think, that's gonna be me. And I'm depressed now over it.
So that's the beginning and the end of the video. In the middle, she tells a truly mortifying story about showing up to an event, apparently that same night when she recorded this, at a comedy club where there was supposed to be some sort of singles event, like other singles were supposed to be there that she could meet. And she sits all the way in the front row where the other singles are supposed to be, but to her horror, nobody else shows up. The rest of the crowd is made up of groups and couples, all sitting several rows back. So now she's alone in the front with every comic who comes on stage, she says, pointing out that she's alone and in the front. And the event ends with the MC handing her a gift bag to congratulate her for being brave, and then the audience claps. So really the worst case scenario when you show up to a place like that by yourself. I mean, I can remember once when I was single many years ago, going to see a movie by myself, and part of me worried that the theater manager or someone would come into the room, stop the film, point to me and say, attention everyone, this guy here's alone. Look at this alone guy, please, and feel sorry for him. We're at the point now where a quarter of Americans have never been married by the time they reach the age of 40. Many other statistics, which we've discussed many times in the show, bear all this out. These are not just the anecdotal experiences of random people on TikTok. This is a real culture-wide phenomenon that those people have found themselves caught up in. So what's going on? There are several major factors. Some of them I've discussed before, but let's lay them out again in one list. First, of course, many people are just waiting too long to get serious about getting married. The lie that my generation was sold and that the next generation after mine was also sold is that your 20s, the first decade of adulthood, is a time to be aimless and lazy and selfish and focus primarily on recreation and pleasure. And this is totally backwards because that stage of life, the kind of aimless, do what you want, have fun life stage, if that comes at all, that's supposed to be on the back end of life, not the front. Okay, that's what your 70s can be about, not your 20s. Now, it's never good to live a selfish life at any age, but if you work hard and you have success and you manage to retire comfortably, what few people in my generation will pull that off, then in your 70s and 80s, you can live a life of leisure where every day is basically focused on recreation.
I agree with that. For the most part, I do. I mean, the thing is, we do tell younger people that, go live your best life. You're only young once. Go out there and do that. Again, you have plenty of time to worry about kids or whatever. No, you don't. And we don't do things the way we used to. Again, back when my parents got married, majority of people got married in their early 20s. They had kids, they had families. Now, no. We are seeing marriage fall big time. We are seeing kids. Again, we don't have enough kids to replenish the population. Hence, why they're bringing in people into this country from third world shithole countries. Because we don't have enough people. Truly, we won't. So again, we're losing our country. And what we're doing is we're telling men, young men, you know what? Yeah. Cater to the woman. It's your job. It's your job to make her feel good. No, it's not. But again, that's what we tell them. It's your job. Make it feel good. Make them feel good. And guess what? Be quiet. You're too loud. You're too toxic. You're too manly. We don't want you. Shh. You're suspended. We don't want you around. And we're telling women, go after whatever. Become whatever. Become whatever you want to become because, again, you're great. You're entitled. You don't need no man. Go after your best life. Live your best life. Focus on you. And again, they're growing up very entitled, very arrogant. The majority of people in college are women. The majority of graduates are women. And then they go after whatever they want when they're in their 20s. They sleep with whoever, they do whatever. And then when they get to around 30, they're like, where are the men? Where are the men at? They're not there. Part of them are at home playing video games, and the other part don't want you. But you're so arrogant that you believe they do. You're 5'4", 180 with 3 kids, and they don't want you. They truly don't want you. Why would they? The top 10% of men, they don't want you. They can have whoever they want. But you're so entitled, you believe that you're going to snag one. And then you don't. And then you're like, well, where are the guys at? You make one of those TikTok videos. Where are the guys at? They're not here. No, they're not. And they're not coming for you. Because all we do is put them down. And all we do is build up you. We create such an inequality that, again, they're not coming together. Men and women, they're not. And we're seeing things fall apart. And we don't seem to recognize what's happening. We don't seem to get it. But unless things turn around, we're not only going to lose marriage and everything else and kids, but we're going to lose our country. I mean, we're the strong men that will defend the U.S. and Europe. Where are they at? Nowhere. They're being weakened. They're being told they're bad. They're being told to sit down. That we don't need your kind of masculine energy. Be more like that girl over there. And that's what we're doing. And it's being done, I feel, on purpose. But guys, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks. You son of a.